Hey, I come to you as a genie. For, as a genie, I would see about granting you your 3 wishes. What would they be? If you could have anything, anything, anything at all, no limits, except that you couldn't take other people's free will away from them, what would you have? What would you do? Would it involve money? Would it be so simple, so basic as that? You think money is the key to things? Are you so focused on lack in your world that you would look to the things of this world? Maybe world peace? I've mentioned it before in some of my journals, but it's a really powerful thing to do. Every year, 3 year, 5 years, something like that, to sit down and pretend that you get 3 wishes. And what would they be? And look really deep inside. I mean, look to find the most precious things you can come up with. And then in that journal, I also asked myself another question. I used to pretend that I had $1,000,000. Well, these days, that's nothing. So pretend you have $1,000,000,000. Exactly how would you spend it if you really had that much money? The preciousness that I've found in this is that when you really put yourself into it and you take it seriously and you do the very best you can to put truth on the paper or in the video, what will happen is when you come to it years later and you look at it, you're going to be shocked because your growth will smack you in the face. You will be so amazed at where you are then and now. And it's, I don't know how it's magic like that, but it is. And I cherish those journals. Now, what else am I here for? Where we are has very much to do with who and what we think we are. If we think we're just these humble little persons walking the face of the earth with our 70, and we're born and we die and that kind of thing. Well, I mean, how can you reach the stars that way? Come on. How can you come into contact with all the other bodies you're wearing right now, right this minute, right now? Time is not what we have been taught to believe it is. Time just isn't that. But it takes getting rid of the beliefs. It takes opening up. And the key to this is found in the heart. Because in your heart, you connect with inner knowing. There's a sage inside of everyone. There's a wise one, excuse me, that we can connect up with inside that will, I don't know. I mean, it's not as if it's separate from you. So how can I say it will teach us and guide us and so on? That splits it off. I don't know. Tricky to try to talk about. Now, I guess I wanted to be supportive here of people looking at something I said in the last video. And that is that the Jehovah of the Bible is an ET. And I realize that, I will likely lose any number of subscribers that have very strong beliefs around their Bible. And that's fine. Everyone, go where you're led. Follow your own heart. That's really, really important. I wouldn't have you staying here and feeling that it's wrong in some way. But if you're ready for it, how about going within and just stationing the watchman there to look at that and look at your response to having that belief challenged? Just watch the self. I'm not saying what to believe or not to believe. It's not that. Basically, I would tell you believe nothing. Don't believe me, don't believe the Bible, don't believe society, don't believe school, don't believe your parents. Good God, don't believe the government. You know, we've got to get over our beliefs. We've structured our reality upon those beliefs. And religion in particular has been used to manipulate and control us like nothing else. There have been more people tortured, murdered, and killed over religion than anything else. And it's ongoing constantly. It's never ending until we set down these beliefs and have a really good impersonal look at them. How can we see? Instead, we're just manipulated by our beliefs. What if you didn't have any beliefs? What if you didn't have a handle that anyone could get a hold of you by? What if no one could manipulate you? Well, that's what it's like being in heart. You're fearless to look at anything. You know, yes, there's a God, but this is not some punishing, wrathful, vengeful God that kills everybody and all the stock and livestock too, you know. We had two brothers, Enki and Enlil, that walked the earth long ago. And they competed with one another, and they used mankind. Their little groups that believed in them believed that they were the gods. And they pitted them against one another, and that's the way the two brothers fought. Okay, maybe that's a belief too. Hold lightly to it, whatever it is. Sure, choose your beliefs. It helps. You know, you've got to believe that the line down the middle of the road is something that it's wise to pay attention to. And stay on your side. It's handy, it's helpful. It'll keep you here longer. But let's hold lightly to our beliefs. And let's recognize that when we go from Europe to America, from America to South Africa, wherever we go, they're liable to drive on the different side of the road. And you know what? That is neither right nor wrong. It just is what it is. And when we get to where we can look at our beliefs that way, well, that's very good. Now, there's a lot of twisting the truth that goes on here in 3D. And it's tough when we're in the mind to decipher this stuff and to know when we're being messed with. Sometimes you just can't know, certainly not by being in mind. But what I'm saying is that by being in heart, you're connected on a much deeper level with whatever it is that's there before you. And so you're perceiving in different ways. You have levels of discernment that maybe you didn't know about. And if you don't see them, you don't know they exist, how can you access them? Maybe you've relegated this to intuition or hunches that would come to you and not realized how deep and how powerful this ability is within mankind. We have it. It's our beliefs that get in the way of exercising it. One thing I wanted to speak out against, and that is all truth is relative. You hear that oh, this is my truth and that's your truth, and you believe yours and I'll believe mine, and everything's fine, and your truth isn't real for me. And it can sing along in this key pretty much. I want to say that it's perspectives that are relative, not truth. Truth, I spell with a capital T. Truth is sacred. Truth is divine. Truth is not a 3D thing. Now, we can have things here that resonate with truth, but truth is the antithesis of relative. There really is such a thing as absolute truth. And so I just wanted to put that out there. Truth is divine. And it's perspectives that are relative. And perspectives are my favorite thing to explore. And when you're fearless, and when you're plugged into God and to love, the real love, the capital L love, you know you're not judged or condemned for whatever you choose to explore and come to a better understanding of. You know? What kind of a God would that be? That would punish you for being curious. Food for pondering. See you soon.